Hi, my name is Christine, and I invite you along to this journey with me on how I approached any different modalities that I could find. I was determined to beat this devastating chronic disease of absolute pain and interfering with my lifestyle. I was determined, so determined, to find something that maybe not cure it, but could ease it. When I went and saw the rheumatologist, he said, "Oh, no, we'll put you on to methotrexate." Hang on, I can't take it because it affects the different organs of the body. He said, "Oh, no, we'll look after that. We'll keep a blood test once a month and keep an eye on you." And I said, "But it's an autoimmune that I'm suffering with. And I still think that the medication will suppress my immune system, and my immune system's already suppressed. Where's that going to leave me?" So I said to him, "How about I'll stay on Panadol, give me 3 months to see what I can do." And I said, "Well, then I'll have to take what you suggest I do." He said, "You'll be back." That was a challenge. That was certainly a challenge. And he said, "What, do you want a Mediterranean diet?" And I said, yes. Wasn't going to go into it with him. But I'd been a vegetarian. I was on an anti-inflammatory diet when this hit me. And I was off all dairy. And still this dreaded disease hit my body. Now, let me tell you something about me. I've always been a really determined person. I've always been involved with natural health. I have been involved with positive thinking. I was a clinical hypnotherapist in my younger years, and I had seen what hypnosis could do. And I'll talk about that later. But I'm just giving you an idea of how important it is to be positive. And that's very difficult when you're suffering. How do you say to somebody, "Oh, just meditate. That's all you need. That'll help you." Have you ever tried meditating while you're in severe pain? Doesn't work. Well, not for me anyway. Maybe for you, not for me. What we have to realize that we're all different. Our bodies are different. There's no one size fits all. And even with our medication, we know we have to adjust the medication for the person that it's for. I was at a disadvantage because I was a lot older. And they say arthritis is an old person's disease, but we know that's not true. We see young people, it hitting very young people. I've been watching some YouTube videos with very young people telling their story. And I often wonder what the outcome was to their stories. I think it becomes controllable eventually with medication. That's what I'm assuming. But I don't know that. Remember, this is my story. Disclaimer here, I'm not a doctor, so I can't answer any questions about what's right or what's wrong. This is only what's affected me and how I've built my story. So I was a meditator. I have not always meditated. I first lost my husband, and then I lost my mother 6 months later. and I was in a pretty bad state. So that's when I went off to learn transcendental meditation. And that was a real bonus in my life. And I used to meditate 20 minutes every morning and every night. It certainly made a difference to my life. I became more calmer, relaxed, didn't let things bother me quite as much as I used to. What I can tell you, I'm still working, and in the job I've got, I had terrible, terrible stresses, and it all fell on me, all the decision making, and that got to me. So, and after I lost my husband and my mother, I had nobody I felt I could confide in and talk to who could give me advice. So that's why I went off to learn meditation. And that's something you can think of for yourself, because it's very simple to do. There's so much to help you now. I can certainly suggest a very good meditation is by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's a very interesting story that he talks about, and he has a lot of meditation on YouTube that you can use. So that's just one aspect that I'm talking about. You may have seen in the beginning of this video that my hand is all bandaged up. Just to throw it in, on top of all that I'd been going through, was a cat bit me. And I went to the hospital. They said, oh my God, the infection had gone halfway up my arm. So they threw me into hospital and gave me a general and cleaned out my hand, debrided it, etc. But it is very painful. Not as painful as rheumatoid arthritis, so let me tell you. So what I'm going to tell you is, no matter what life throws to you, and rheumatoid was a huge one because I'd never experienced pain like this, there's hope. I believe there's always an answer, but you have to find your answer. And I'm here to talk about all the different things I tried to find my answer. So until next time, I hope you come back to watch my video, and I'd love you to like it. It's very encouraging. And at my age, it's certainly encouraging, because this is something right out of my realm that I've ever done. So with that, I shall say goodbye, take care, and hope to see you soon.